The lock clicked smoothly when I turned the key. Too smoothly. I paused with my hand still on the knob, listening to the hollow silence inside the house. No heels kicked off by the door. No sharp perfume hanging in the air. Just stillness. Calculated. Intentional. My phone buzzed. Her name. I let it vibrate itself tired. Earlier that night, she had laughed, head thrown back, glass of champagne raised, while her friends circled me like spectators. Honestly, she'd said, smirking, it's cute how proud he is of his little paycheck. Laughter followed, polite, sharp. I'd leaned in and whispered, calm, controlled, stop. She hadn't even looked at me. It's just a joke, she snapped. Lighten up or go home. So I nodded. I always nodded. Now, standing in the quiet house I paid for, the air felt different, cleaned out, emptied, like a wound that finally stopped bleeding and turned cold. Another buzz. Where are you? I removed my jacket slowly, folded it over the chair, every movement deliberate, every breath measured. I wasn't angry anymore. Anger is sloppy. This was clarity. The jokes hadn't started that night. They'd been layering themselves for months, small humiliations dressed as humor, comments about ambition, about real money, about how her friends' husbands invested while I merely worked. What she never asked was who wired the mortgage every month. I had assumed cruelty without malice, a misunderstanding, something to correct with conversations and patience. But there were other things. The way she guarded her phone, the narrowed look when I entered rooms unexpectedly, her sudden fluency in lies, effortless, rehearsed. One night, I caught a name slip past her lips while she slept. Not mine. I told myself it meant nothing. Brains misfire. Dreams bleed into reality. Still, I began noticing patterns. Late meetings that didn't exist. Expenses that didn't match reality. Affection rationed like a scarce resource. At dinner, she would glance at her phone and smile. Genuine, unguarded. She never smiled at me like that anymore. I asked gently. She deflected expertly. Gaslighting isn't loud. It's quiet, intimate, and effective. I realized then she wasn't just embarrassed by me. She was replacing me. I didn't confront her. I observed. I pulled phone records under the guise of refinancing paperwork she never bothered to read. Numbers repeated themselves late at night, always after midnight. I ran timelines, matched them against her excuses. Patterns always tell the truth. I hired a private investigator with cash withdrawn months earlier for home improvements. I watched receipts arrive in my inbox like autopsy reports. Photos, dates. A man who wore arrogance like cologne. A partner at her firm, richer, louder, temporary. At home, I remained consistent, warm, predictable. I watched her relax. Complacency is a gift cheaters give willingly. I started planning, not with emotion, but precision. Lawyers first, paperwork, deed transfers, proof of purchase. Every line item highlighted and tabbed. The house was only ever in my name. She didn't know that. She'd never cared enough to ask. The PI report arrived on a Tuesday afternoon, 27 pages. I read it once, then again, slower. There it was. Confirmation. No ambiguity. No room for her favorite weapon, denial. That evening, she came home late and kissed my cheek without looking at me. I slid the report across the table. She froze. Her breath caught on page 3. Her hands trembled by page 7. This isn't, she started. I raised a finger. Silence. I didn't need the truth anymore. I already owned it. What about the jokes? I asked calmly. Still funny? Her face collapsed inward. Tears surfaced. Excuses followed. I felt nothing. Not relief, not rage, just distance. I didn't yell. I didn't demand explanations. I stood, went to the door, opened it. Her suitcases waited outside, neatly packed, labeled. The locks had already been changed, earlier that afternoon, between meetings. "Where am I supposed to go?" she whispered. I met her eyes for the first time that night. "Ask him," I said, "since his money matters more." She reached for me. I stepped back. Control isn't about cruelty, it's about finality. Later, alone, I walked through the house. Every room felt larger, quieter, mine. I thought about all the times I'd nodded, swallowed myself, paid silently. I hadn't lost anything. I'd reclaimed it. Some people confuse kindness with weakness. They always regret it. I turned off the lights, locked the door, and slept better than I had in years. She learned who paid the mortgage. I learned who deserved it.